If I was to ask you what Roblox is, most people would probably say that Roblox is an always online platform filled with millions of users and millions of games. Now, I have searched all over YouTube, but despite my efforts, even though I have been able to find plenty of videos talking about the history of Roblox, I haven't really been able to find that many that actually talk about the lore of Roblox, especially Roblox as a whole, how everything ties together. So today, we are going to be doing just that. What actually is Roblox? So where do we start? Well, let's start with the basics. The world itself. Can I ask you a question, everyone? Where the heck are we? This gigantic void. What actually is this void? It does not matter wherever you are in Roblox, the void is always present. Now, if we're thinking about what Roblox might look like as a whole complete structure, given the fact that no matter where we go in all of Roblox, this void is always present, we can roughly paint a picture in our minds as to what Roblox might actually truly look like. Now, feel free to make your own theories on this, but I have thought about this, and I have been able to come to two different conclusions as to what the world of Roblox actually looks like. Number one, and the more likely theory in my opinion, the void theory. The theory that every single game and every single structure that exists in all of Roblox all exist coincide each other in one single, unfathomably gigantic void. Or number two, the multiverse theory. The theory that instead suggests that every single Roblox game takes place in an alternate universe. Now, to go into a little more detail with this void, there are actually similarities in the games on Roblox. Similarities that every single game on the platform shares. The most notable one that I can find being the void itself and the effects that it has. And that is what is known as the Roblox Farlands. You would think that if Roblox was made up of many different multiverses, there would at least be one or a few different multiverses where this Roblox lore of physics was absent, but it is never absent. Take a look at what happens to you and the world around you when you travel a considerable distance away from the center of a world. Notice how the further and further you venture out into the nowhere, your body and even reality around you starts melting, distorting, violently vibrating, and even reshaping as the very fabric of the universe itself corrupts you. Eventually, the effect will become so intense to the point where reality itself is literally consumed by the void. Also, How old is the void as well? Well, if you go by the real world time, Roblox is roughly about 19 years old at the moment. But that is how old Roblox is in the real world. How old is Roblox in its own time? What do I actually mean by this? Well, you know how in a lot of games out there, 1 minute of real world time is the equivalent to 1 hour of in-game time? Yeah, well, seeing as Roblox is an always online game, if we measure Roblox's lifetime in this method, Roblox is actually not, in fact, 19 years old. If there are 525,600 minutes in a year, then if we times that by 19, because, you know, there's 19 years in Roblox history, we get whatever number this is. And then, if we convert those minutes into hours, and then those hours into years, Roblox's true age is not, in fact, 19 years, but is instead 1,140 years old, which would explain why the destinations and why the universe itself has changed so much. A millennial has gone by, which, by the way, if this form of time on Roblox is to be correct, then your account might actually be a lot older than you think it is. Alright, so I've talked quite a lot about the world itself of Roblox, but what about us, the players, the Robloxians? How exactly do we fit into all of this? The Robloxians are actually quite strange and mysterious beings. I mean, for starters, we literally appear to have supernatural-like powers, freely teleporting around to any world whenever we want, being able to, at least most of the time, deconstruct and then reconstruct ourselves. I mean, heck, some of us even having the ability to create our own worlds. The Roblox players themselves might actually single-handedly be the most important thing in this universe. I mean, not only do we bring life and meaning to it all, but we are also the reason why anything seems to exist at all. But despite our seemingly supernatural powers, we know for a fact that Robloxians are not immortal. It is technically possible for a Robloxian to die. You can be banned, or I guess in Roblox terms, smited. It's also technically possible for a Robloxian to die by a real-life human simply never controlling them again. Maybe you forgot the password. Maybe they got hacked or possessed. Or maybe they simply just got abandoned. But nevertheless, whatever the cause was, the end result is that character never being able to reconstruct themselves ever again. So, what does this all mean, and how does this all tie together? To answer the question posed at the very beginning of this video, what actually is Roblox? Well, here is my nutshell interpretation. Over 1,000 years ago, there were two gods, David Baszucki and Eric Castle. They were both the only two things that existed in the entire universe, until they created two things. One of them created the Void, a seemingly infinite expanse of pure nothingness, with enough room to do just about anything within it. And the other created the Robloxian, living and magical beings with only one purpose in their lives: to create and experience as much as possible. The first ever Robloxians to ever exist were John and Jane Doe, but as time went by, more and more Robloxians began to spawn into existence, and with such high numbers, there came many different types of Robloxians, some that even possessed the ability to create their own worlds within the Void. void. Many different worlds from all across the void would be visited in great numbers. Gigantic flocks of Robloxians, searching for worlds that would give them the best quality of life. After some years went by, and as the popularity of these worlds increased, the population of the void began to rapidly increase. And with more Robloxians came more world builders, and more world builders, and more world builders, until eventually we got to where we are now. This is Roblox, a seemingly infinite void, sparsely dotted by millions and millions of different worlds. And as a Robloxian, your ultimate goal in this universe is to create within it, or experience it, as much as possible. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm just incredibly overthinking the lore of a flawed kids game, and none of this actually means anything. Thank you for watching.